as I mentioned in the last video, I'm going to show you through another way of using these stencils. I call it the reverse stenciling technique. It just gives you an even more sort of grungy look that you can use to put other nail art on top of. So for this technique, I'm going to be using Texture 01 plate, and I'm going to be using this corner one here. I'm going to be using 2 carbon stampers, this template here, and I might use this one just because I've used that one before so you can see what we're doing, and I'm going to be using Messy Mansion Black once again. So it's a fairly straightforward technique, but it does require a little bit of speed, and I'll talk you through it. I'll go through it quickly. So basically you're removing kind of one layer, and then we're going to be actually using the underneath layer. So if I paint that over like that, scrape, put our template tool on top. Okay, there's our first one. Take this off, and then underneath the image. Okay, so we ended up with getting two images out of this. One's a very clear one of the stencil, and the other one is really interesting. So it's a really diffuse kind of pattern which has got a whole lot of depth in it. So that on the nail is going to give you a really pretty background. It's another way of doing a less messy way of doing something like a saran wrap, and it does just give you a little bit more structure than say a saran wrap would, than the saran wrap technique. Okay, so that's given lots of light and depth, and you can still see the outlines of the shapes, but it's going to be a really pretty base to build some other things on top of. Okay, so that's our negative stencil. So that's our first run of it, which we're not going to use that one. We might use it for something different on a different nail. And that's our second go, but that's at the plate without the stencil afterwards. What I'll do is I'll clean up and I'll go through it again with a different colour, so you can just sort of see the different kind of looks you can get using this. Alrighty, I'll be back soon after I've cleaned up. Okay, so I'm back, we're all cleaned up. Just going to have another go at this one just to show you what it's like with a colour. So I'm just going to lay down some red. The thing with these big design areas is go very lightly when you scrape. So let's use this one here, say. So there's my first design picked up. Take this off, get my second design. Okay, so you can see that's really diffuse. There's a little bit of, it's a bit lighter on one side than the other, but if I'm going for a really grungy background, that's exactly what I want. It's something that's just got some variation to the design to it. So a couple of layers of that sort of thing, and I'm going to get a really nice sort of grungy background. So I could put that one on my nail, and then do that one. But that one's worked out quite well too. Okay, so that's just using it. Now this is what I'm calling the negative image, because I'm picking up everything that was kind of under the stencil with this. And it's just another quick little technique to build some depth into your designs really easily. Alrighty, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy these little stencil templates. As I mentioned, they're on the site now. They're ready to go. Set of 3 with the plate. Happy stamping, guys.